Hi everyone, Shane R. Monroe here. So look, I've done a lot of C64 Ultimate content on this channel, and if you've been here for any of it, you know I'm a fan, a big fan. I think it's one of the most impressive things to come out of retro gaming in a long time, and I mean that. But today we're not doing that video, because today we're flipping it around, because nothing is perfect, and the Ultimate is no exception. I've got 6 things that genuinely bug me about this machine, and I think, well, it's worth being honest about it. The good stuff deserves coverage, but so does this. Stick around.
Let's go into the MonroeWorld.
Number 1, and yeah, we're starting petty, the function keys. I get it. There's a C64C color scheme nod happening there. I understand what they were going for, but on the OG bread bin, those keys feel like an ugly scratch on an otherwise brand new sexy car. Every single time I look at my Ultimate sitting on the desk, it's right over there, my eyes go right to them. It breaks the whole aesthetic for me. For a premium piece of hardware at this price point, the details matter. Match the keys, or at least give us a color option. Some replaceable caps? That's all I'm asking. Number 2, the rocker switch. The power switch on this thing feels like a strange abomination. It's stiff, it's clunky, and every time I use it, I half expect something to snap off in my hand or hear that ugly crack that renders the rocker useless. The original bread bin had a power switch that felt solid. There was something satisfying about it. The Ultimate's rocker it doesn't have that feel. I notice it every single time I power the machine on. For something this well engineered on the inside, that switch feels like a weak point that they should really revisit. Maybe using those utility style buttons I show in another video. Okay, number 3 is where we get a little more serious. The flash memory situation. Here's the thing, and I want to be clear about this. We're not talking about something going wrong during a firmware update or some scary procedure you did. Sometimes, for absolutely no apparent reason, the flash folder just disappears. It's gone. And with it, your floppy drive ROMs, which means nothing will load again. Your cartridge files, Jiffy DOS, other data you had in there. No warning, no corruption message, just absent. You go to load a game and there's no drive, or look for your Jiffy DOS startup screen and it's not there anymore. This is a rough thing to discover, especially if you spend any real time curating a cart collection on the device. Getting back from it means reflashing, which, if you know what you're doing, isn't the end of the world. But it's not a beginner-friendly process, and honestly, it shouldn't need to happen at all. When a folder full of your stuff can just vanish on its own, rendering the unit largely unusable, that's a trust issue. That's a reliability issue, and this hardware deserves better than that. Oh, and it also seems to take out your network settings too. Fun, right? Always have the update file on a flash drive sitting nearby and handy. Number 4, this one actually drives me a little crazy from a workflow standpoint. There is no clean way, none, to set a disk image to automatically mount and execute on boot. You want to drop into a specific program every time you fire up the machine? You're doing it manually, every time. For a device that is otherwise incredibly configurable, this feels like a real gap. Here's what I want, and honestly, it seems so obvious I can't believe it doesn't exist yet. Give me a specialty named default.cfg that the Ultimate just picks up and runs on power on. That's it, no menu navigation, no manual steps, just boot and go. Listen, I realize there is a default configuration in flash memory, but since you can't tie a drive mount and or flag it to run immediately, that isn't the solution I'm talking about. And while we're at it, make it so I can hit return on any config file from the browser, and it applies that config, mounts the disk denoted, and loads and runs the first program. One button and done. Because right now, if you want to set this thing up as a dedicated game machine, a kiosk box, something for an event, it's more manual intervention than it should be. Most of the pieces are there. The config system, the disk mounting, the auto start hooks. They just aren't wired together in a way that's seamless. This should not be hard to implement. Come on, make it happen. Number 5, the network speed. And I'm not talking about Wi-Fi. I wouldn't expect miracles there. I'm talking wired. Transferring files to the Ultimate over a wired network connection is slower than it has any right to be. If you're pushing REU images or doing anything involving bulk transfers, you're going to notice. It works. Technically it works, but the experience doesn't match what you would expect from a wired connection on a modern machine. There's headroom here that has not been realized yet, and it's one of those things where the feature exists, but it doesn't feel finished. I'd love to see this get some attention because right now it's the kind of thing that makes you go grab a USB drive instead, which kind of defeats the whole point. And finally, number 6, the UltiSID. The built-in SID replacement on the Ultimate is powerful. I'm not disputing that, but configuring it, it's not welcoming. The options are dense. The documentation assumes you already know what you're doing. And if you're trying to dial in the right SID model for a specific piece of music or a specific game, you're kind of flying blind. Here's the thing. The SID chip is the C64. That's the soul of this machine, and a feature that's central to the Commodore experience should be one of the most approachable things to set up on the device. Right now, it's the exact opposite. A better UI, a guided setup, something, anything that gets you from I want this SID configuration to actually having it without a research project, that would make a difference. So there you go. 6 things I wish were different about the Commodore 64 Ultimate. And look, none of this changes what I think about the hardware overall. I am not going anywhere with mine, but if the team is watching, and I suspect maybe some of you are, these are the things your community is bumping into. Fix the switch, fix the network, wire up that drive mounting execution with configs. For the love of all things Commodore, match those function keys, or at least make a set available on the website. A replacement, include a puller while you're at it. Drop your gripes in the comments. I know I'm not the only one sitting on some of these, and if you're new here, stick around. We've got plenty more retro content coming. I'm Shane R. Monroe. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, hype, comment, send a fruit basket, blah, blah, blah. You know what to do. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time.